Welcome to St. Joe Lake.
Morning comes slow to the lake. Light breaks against the mist like an old promise. There's a quiet here that feels older than men, older than the roads that brought them. Yen steps along the track, boots whispering through pine needles, and I move behind her, silent, watching, recording. This is St. George's Lake, carved from the earth by men chasing a fever that glittered in their minds. A dam once built for the mines, now a refuge for those who need to remember what stillness feels like. As Yen pauses by the water's edge, she breathes the air of the forest, feeling the trees meet her, the wild around her. I remain the unseen eye. Each step we take around its shore is a walk through 2 centuries, one loud, one silent. Yen comes from Ban Non Sawan Village near Khon Kaen. She left fields of rice, her hands used to planting, to seasons and slow returns of earth. Here the forest rises close. Tall pines planted by human hands, straight and narrow as the dreams of empire, surround her. Beyond them, native gums twist and lean like they've seen the folly of it all. Their branches carry the soft breath of the old people, the Jaja Wurrung, who walked these ridges before the earth was turned for gold. Yen's palms hover over bark. She presses her mind into the trunks and leaf litter, acknowledging spirits of the place. I record the moment, the quiet, the reverence between her and the land. To walk here is to move between worlds, one of greed and grit, one of peace and slow forgiveness. I track Yen as she passes the remnants of the old spillway, stone and wire and weathered metal, time's quiet work revealed. In the distant hills, the old reports still echo. Creswick's gold once ran deep, buried rivers yielding fortunes and loss. And in December 1882, the new Australasian mine flooded without warning. 22 men drowned in the dark. Their names are written in town, but their silence is written here. Yen senses it. She stops, her figure framed against the trees, and the stillness that follows feels like prayer. The wind moves across the lake. It smells of iron and rain, like something that's been waiting to be forgiven. Yen looks out across the water, expression gentle. She lowers to run her fingers along a wet stone. The path speaks, not in words, but in the long hush between footsteps. The kookaburra laughs somewhere. A magpie answers. They've seen the centuries come and go. Yen smiles, acknowledging them. She knows how life finds a way. The path narrows. The bush thickens. I watch her move through fallen logs and roots, each step part of her quiet conversation with this country. There was hardship here. Old shafts and tunnels, men trapped underground, water flooding the mines. Lives lost for dust that glittered. The landscape carries the weight of it still. Yen feels it. She stands by a rusted marker, eyes lowered. I lift the camera slowly, capturing that invisible bridge between her spirit and the ghosts beneath the soil. Yen left the rice fields and monsoon rains of Isaan, the smell of jasmine at dusk, for this forest of pine and fern. The air here is colder, the light sharper, the silence deeper. Yet the feeling of the land is the same. She knows the rhythm of nature, the patience of roots. She feels the wild here as she once did there, as family, as teacher, as something eternal. The lake bends wide now. Across the far bank, the forest stands dark and strong, each tree a survivor of what came before. Yen stands on a rock, watching the ripples move outward. In her stillness, two worlds meet, her village and this frontier, both born of labour, both bound to the land. The soil beneath her boots is ochre red, the colour of work and blood and rust. It's the kind of ground that remembers. She kneels by the water and places a leaf on the surface. It drifts slowly, carrying her offering, her respect to whatever spirits linger here. If you listen long enough, the water sounds like language. Old miners once prayed down here, scrawled their last words on billy cans before the flood took them. The lake remembers. And in the wind I hear the echo of that history, a whisper between the living and the lost. Yen listens too, her eyes closed, her breath steady. In that moment, she carries both their stories. A family walks past the picnic lawn, children laughing, a dog splashing. Yen turns to them, smiling softly, her presence quiet, her heart full. The gold that men once tore from this land isn't what endures. The true treasure is here. The calm, the connection, the knowing. Her journey from Ban Non Sawan to St George's Lake is its own kind of gold rush. A search for belonging, not for wealth. The sun rises higher, the mist lifts, the hills shine. Some mornings you walk and forget what century you're in. That's the gift of places like this. They fold time like paper. Yen stands in the clearing, hands pressed together in quiet thanks. The trees sway in response, as if acknowledging her prayer. We near the end of the loop. The shadows grow shorter, the day fuller. Yen slows her pace, her eyes turned upward, her lips moving in a quiet language meant only for the wind. The spirits here listen. They have always listened. Near the picnic area, voices drift across the lake. Laughter, the clang of a barbecue lid, the everyday sounds of life continuing. Yen turns back once more, looking over the water. For a moment, she stands in both worlds. The one that was, and the one that is. I record the silence that joins them. She sits on a bench. The sun warms the timber beneath her. This is what endures. Not the gold, not the history,
Said they would have chased
but the quiet act of sitting beside the water.
And where you get your gold is on the contact,
Alive.
what they call the contact between the rock.
A crow calls from the ridge.
quartz, that contact point.
Its cry rolls over the lake like a sermon. Some things need no translation, only attention. The water gleams bright now, every ripple catching the sun. It looks almost molten, as if the gold the miners sought had melted into light itself. Yen watches it shimmer. The earth forgets the noise and keeps the song. And when you walk through it, open and unhurried, you can hear it again. There's a stillness before the return, a pause where the heart wants to linger. Yen looks back one last time. The lake holds its secrets like a man holds a long silence, with grace and a little ache. The world feels wide again, not in distance, but in depth. As we near the car park, a faint smell of smoke drifts through the pines. Someone's fire starting. It smells like the old camps. Perhaps the land remembers them all. Yen takes one last slow step toward the car. A bellbird calls. Bright, metallic, clear, like the strike of gold on stone. The day is fully awake. The wind moves across the lake like a living thing. There is holiness in that motion. I whisper thanks, not to anyone in particular, but to the lake itself, for holding what was lost and for giving it back as peace. This was a mining dam once. Now it is a mirror, a place where the past and the present lean toward each other, and for a moment almost touch. Yen shoulders a pack. The wind lifts her hair. She walks ahead, sunlight on her back. I stay behind, unseen, watching her fade into the trees, because some places don't end when you walk away. They travel with you, in your breath, in the quiet between thoughts, in the slow way you look at the world afterward.